Recording this. Woo, okay. Hello, Dream Team. Sorry I'm late. I was struggling to learn Zoom tonight for some reason out of nowhere. Okay, so before we get into the topic at hand, Lavelle dropped a promo. So I want to go over the promo. I know you can read. I don't mean to sound, like we're going to read together, but I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page when it comes to this promo. Because we had this once before and it was a little, I don't know that it's confusing, but it's just not like the normal one that we've had. So they are calling this August Rush. It started today. It goes through Sunday. Let me put my glasses on. Goes through, Sunday the 14th. So you have until Sunday the 14th at 11:59 Eastern, but don't wait that late because the cloud will go slow by then. Basically, what they're saying is for new or existing customers or promoters. So that's anyone, any human that has an account basically is eligible for this promotion. If they spend $200 or more, up to $399, right? They will get free shipping, which is awesome, a free bottle of balance, which is also awesome. And then they're going to throw in $50 in credits onto their account for their next future order. Okay. So right there, shipping isn't anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks, depending on where it's going. The $50 in credits, let's just say $25 for shipping. We'll just average that out. $50 in credits, you're up to $75 now, and then balance, which I think is 40, if I remember right. So that's a lot right there that they're already getting back just from taking advantage of that promo. Now, if you do 400 or more, and again, it's customers or promoters, new or existing, they get the free shipping, they get the balance, but they get double the credits. They get $100 back in credits, and they get a free bottle of Scald. So before I go on with that, what I want you to for you OGs that are like, man, where is that double, triple that we're used to having? I want you to do the math on this. If someone purchased the $200 or the $400 pack to get to that promo, the commission you get on those packs that's bigger than if they just ordered $200 of line items, right? So if you're dealing with somebody who's actually ordering the pack, if they're ordering a $400 pack, you're going to get $80 in commission on it that you could then, if you wanted to, give them 40 bucks of, none of, all of, whatever. If you're trying to get somebody started on their business and they're like, I really want to do this. But before you go down that route, just know they're already getting $100 in credits for their next order. They're already getting free shipping for that order. And they're getting two free plus line products. So they're already getting a really good deal. So you don't have to give them anything. Don't feel like you have to do that. I must have screwed this whole Zoom up. It's not muting people when they come in. I didn't know I was the host. I'm gonna have to go back to Zoom 101. It's like I've never done this before. Okay, so moving on. So you guys get that part, right? So it could be packs or line items, right? It doesn't matter what they put in their cart to get to either the 200 or the 400 and above. Now, during that process, during this week, you can earn up to $800 bonus money on top of your commissions when you generate $1,200 of QV and PPA order volume. So let me break down that very technical sentence. $1,200 of QV, that is the volume price. So for example, when you sell a $400 pack, even though there's tax on it and there's shipping on it, the QV, the qualifying volume, is only the 400. It's not the total at the bottom of the person's invoice. Okay. You don't count their tax and shipping towards what you get paid on your commissions. So the QV is what you're getting paid on. PPA means the very first time anyone has ever placed an order in their life. They could have had an account set up for the last 8 years. But if they've never ordered on that account, the very first time they order, that is considered PPA. So the quickest way to get to $1,200 in PPA, well, I guess the quickest way is to have one person order $1,200. That's a lot of Thrive. But my brain automatically goes to 3 people ordering a $400 pack or $400 worth of product. But the $400 pack that's the easiest way. Now, again, the packs are for promoters. So if you're dealing with a customer, you're going to do $400 in line items, and it can be any line items you want, right? So that $800 bonus that you're going to order that you can earn, $600 of that is cold hard cash. Just That wonderful feeling of cold hard cash hitting your account, right? The rest of it comes in the form of $200 in Thrive credits to your personal account, which then you can use for your own product, or you can pass down to people. You can come up with promos for it. You can do whatever you want with your credits, right? We all know, I hope everyone here knows what we can do with free credits. If not, ask me separately and we'll go over that. So it's a two-part promo in the fact that it is a discount of free shipping, free product, and credits for future orders, not for this order, but future orders on over 200 or over 400. That happens no matter what, right? Doesn't matter if you get the performance bonus or not. The separate part of this is a promo just for you as a promoter that you can use these customer promos to earn. This to me is a great time to obviously talk to newbies who want to get started, talk to your non-promoting promoters, right, who love to get a good deal. And then anyone who's maybe a really happy thriver that is mentioned a couple of times, they might want to promote, but they're not really sure. This is a great way. When I started as a customer, and then when I clicked promoter, there wasn't anything like that. I just clicked promoter and then ran with what I had, right? This would give somebody free stuff already to start out with and free credits to start out with. So Sandra Dilbeck is on here tonight because I had free credits, because in my first couple weeks, 14 days, I was earning my VIP bonuses. So I was getting credits and I was able to offer $25 to Sandra if she wanted to thrive. That was the difference of her saying yes or no. So for a brand new promoter to come in, get free shipping, get free product, and have credits that they can immediately use, that's a really, really good way to set someone up for success in this business. Now, let's do the most important part of this whole thing. We're going to do the fine print. Do you have a question? Oh, yeah, okay. Fine print. So it's today through Sunday. We talked about that. Any Thrive credits already in your account. Okay, so they're basically saying Thrive credits cannot be used towards these for the free product or the free shipping. Does that make sense? Like, you can't use, if you have free credits and you're wanting to use those to place your order, you can, but you will void yourself of this particular opportunity. So if you were going to order $200 and you had $200 in credit sitting in your account that you wanted to use, you're going to get a really good deal because that's all free, right? But if you wanted this deal, you wouldn't use that. Free product will appear in the checkout page. Okay. So in other words, when someone's like, but I've got everything in here and I'm not seeing that free bottle of balance, they won't see that until after they check out. It will be added onto their invoice. When they get the email after they place their order, it'll show there that they're getting free. It will not carry over to an auto ship. So if somebody places an order of $200 or more and they have it in on auto ship, which always put it in on auto ship, right? Because that's our best price. We save 20% right off the top by having auto ship, and they get that free bottle of balance. When that order repeats in a month, if they keep that auto ship, they'll get the original order, but not the free bottle of balance. That's a one-time thing for the freebie. Okay. Credits. So if you are looking, if you're chasing the performance bonus for the $600 cash, $200 in credits, that does not get paid out until August 23rd. Okay. That's also pending no compliance issues, AKA your person doesn't cancel their order. You didn't make up an account under your hedgehog to, whatever. Okay. And then the second part of the fine print basically is number one, free shipping is not available in the Philippines, which I don't think we have to worry about that here, and does not apply to orders with UI or Thrive 2.0 due to the size and the weight. So if somebody is wanting to place the $200 and up, they won't get the free shipping if they have those items in there. Part two says the $1,200 of QV of PPA order, which we broke that down, right? That is generated from your level one personally enrolled. Compression does not apply. So basically it's your personally enrolled. Sandra, now that I read that, when it says compression doesn't apply, does that mean like when somebody has disappeared and everybody's moved up? Yes. Okay. So if you have, so for example, let's pretend for the newbies. So
I'm going to guess it means that.
Okay. We could do a support ticket to verify, but it actually says no, compression does not apply. So that's where I read that to be. Also, compression could mean the waiting room, could be the other. So basically what they're saying is for this to count, it has to be you that signs up this brand new customer or brand new promoter for their very first ever order. So just think of it that way. Okay. And then the last part is the part they always have on there. Don't make fake accounts, don't have duplicates, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Does this make sense to everyone? because I didn't mean to talk about it that long, but I sure did.
Well, I'm glad you did go over it piece by piece because I was so confused those last couple of
Mhm.
times. And then the compression not apply. So that means anybody who's my level 1, I can go send them those messages, but anybody else that I gained because somebody went inactive and what have you, negative, nix.
That is what I think that means. Yes.
Okay.
So I would think the best way to do that, just so you guys would know for sure, if you're looking at someone who already has an account made and you're not quite sure, when you log in, when you go to pull up your sponsorship downline, it automatically defaults to your level 1s. And when you pull up your customer list, it defaults to your level 1. So in other words, your customers, not your like, so for example, if Lisa Cook is the promoter that I signed up and now she has 6 customers under her, those don't count for me. It has to be people that I signed up directly. Okay. We good? We're going to move on. Wait, you got a question? Go ahead.
So the compression does not apply. I'm wondering if that also means referral customers.
Well, referral customers are your customers.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, your referrals. Yeah. If you were my customer and you brought in your friend Sonia and you're not a promoter, you're still a customer. Sonia's referred by you, but she's under me.
Okay. That's right.
Pull up in my customer list as my level 1.
Okay.
Is that clear as mud for everyone?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's switch gears and let's talk about time-saving hacks. Now I threw out on there that I was hoping you guys would bring me some too, because I'm always up for a time-saving hack. And I'm just going to share with you a few things that I do that I think help shave some time off of running the Lavelle business while you're busy, living your life and doing other jobs. The first and foremost best way for me, I think, to do a time hack is to find time. And I know that sounds so basic, but that's where your calendar comes in. That's when you hear me preach about a daily calendar broken up by hours or half hours. You guys, if you do that, you will find time. If any of you were in my squad last time, or you're in Lindsay's squad this time in the boot camp, you're being put through that right now. You're seeing that. One example I will give you from the last time we were in the squad, somebody turned in their calendar to me and it said from 6 to 7, they prepped dinner. And then from 7 to 8, they ate dinner. It does not take an hour to cook dinner. And if it does, and you're trying to build a business, that's when you have to start using things like Instant Pot, crock pots, casseroles, right? You start getting creative in that realm so that you're not spending an hour cooking and then an hour sitting down to eat. And also, unless you're like a big Italian family, maybe at someone's birthday, it's not going to take you an hour to sit and eat. So when people really started, like in their head, in this person's head, she's like, well, when I get home from work from 6 to 8, it's dinner. Then we really started diving in. She would start dinner, throw in a load of laundry, help her kid with some homework, check on dinner. Like there was a lot more going on in that time. And so when we really broke that down, number one, it helped her realize how much she does get done after work. And number two, she started to realize, you're right, after dinner, I just kind of zone out for a little bit, which sometimes you need that time, right? Sometimes you need that zone out time. But other times you're going to find little nooks where you're like, oh, I do. After my lunch break, when I really have 15 more minutes, I scroll instead of, I could take a walk. I could listen to a podcast. I could do some reach out. So to me, the number one way to hack your time is to find your time. And the only way to find time is to get real specific about what you're doing and when you're doing it. Number two is to set a timer. You can get an egg timer, one of those little flippy sand things. If you have a cell phone, which I think most of you do, you can set your timer on there and then decide what you're going to do. Hang on, I dropped something. Then decide what you want to get accomplished in that chunk of time. So if you're noticing that every night after dinner, maybe every night when you get home from work, but before you start dinner, you realize you have about 10, 15 minutes. If you set a timer for 10 minutes, you're like, okay, what can I do in 10 minutes? You guys, you can get a lot of reach outs done in 10 minutes. You'll be shocked how much of your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 you can knock out in 10 minutes. So part of it is that it's a game, and the fact that you're pushing yourself to see how much you can get done in that 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever. The other part is it creates a boundary of, okay, in this next 10 minutes, I'm going to get this done, which then means when I'm done with that, I can move on to my next chunk, which maybe that is getting to see your family and have dinner with them and talk to them, right? So instead of having dinner and being distracted and wishing oh, I should be working on my business, but I want to see my kids, like you've set the time and you've done what you can in chunks. Number three, and this is one that I've used for a really long time, and I know sometimes it surprises people, at least it did Lisa Cook the first time she heard me say it. Pre-record your stories. This is what I dropped on the floor, of course. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly what you can do right now in this very second. Oh, I just opened up a post from, that's not what I meant to do. I really am technology challenged tonight. Okay, so I am in Instagram. I'm in the story feature function of Instagram, right? And I got the camera turned to face me. I'm going to put on my favorite filter. And I'm going to set it to boomerang. That's where it just takes a couple seconds and it flips back and forth, right? I'm going to put my Thrive capsules in front. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah. And I'm going to hit the button. I'm going to smile. And now, can you see it? There's my boomerang, right? I can click the three dots in the upper right-hand corner and it says save, and I can save it. So don't be surprised tomorrow morning when you see me wake up with my capsules, right? I'm already done. You don't have to do all these things in the moment at night, right? And you guys, guess what else you can do? You could, in the next 3 seconds, let's do another one. I've saved that one. Did I save it? I'm going to save it just in case. I'm going to double check myself. So now let's turn the camera away from me. I have my big water thing that I have by the bed every day. I'm still on boomerang because it makes it easy. I'm going to take, can you see what I'm doing? I'm taking my camera and my capsules. I'm starting in close. I'm moving it away. And now I have another story of my capsules. You could do a lot of these in a very short period of time. You can save them in a folder in your phone called Instagram Morning Stories or Instagram Capsule Stories. And when you wake up and you're really busy, or you wake up and you forgot to do something before you, here's the thing too, I know people panic. They're like, oh my gosh, I got all the way to work and then I realized I didn't show my capsules on my story. Do it now. No one knows. No one cares what time you got up this morning. No one cares if you've already been awake for 4 hours or you were awake for 3 seconds. Put it on your story. As people are scrolling through, they don't know what time it is. That's not, at least I hope they don't. If they do, they need to get a job and do something. They should be a promoter. They have too much time on their hands. Okay. So right there, in just a few seconds, we made 2 stories. We could have done a lot more if I wasn't talking as much, right? And you would have already had these saved in your phone. So maybe tomorrow you wake up and you're like, no, I'm really doing something this morning. I do want to share it. Okay, cool. That's okay. You have these as backup. You can do so many of these like right away. You could walk around your house and you could do 5 to 7 of these and you have a whole week's worth. And shocker, I bet if you repeated the exact same ones next week, no one would know. So when you save the raw one to your phone, tomorrow morning when I go to post it, I can put, what's tomorrow? I could be like Terrific Tuesday. And then maybe next week I use the exact same video, but I call it Flex Friday, whatever. Like you can change it around, right? It doesn't matter. Cut yourself some slack. Stop trying to be perfect. You're not social media managers. We're not influencers. We're promoters. Our job is to just keep putting our Thrive Life in front of people. The other thing that you can do is create story templates. You can do that in Canva. You can do it here on your phone. You can do it in Pixlr. You can literally just, sometimes I don't know, like I'll be like, well, gosh, I haven't shared much of my stories today. I'll just run through my camera roll real quick. What did I take a picture of in the last few days that I can share? Again, nobody knows if you took it in the moment. You can even be like, flashback to last Thursday. I totally forgot to share this. People love a good flashback, right? So don't overwhelm yourself. Use pre-recorded stuff. Another time-saving hack that I think I shared last night, even on the power plan, turn your live photos or motion photos on your phone. It takes every picture that you make, and it's actually like a 3-second video. So your phone will either, you can, and everyone's phone's going to be different. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, go to Google, type in like for me, Samsung Galaxy, whatever this is called. How do I save a live photo as a video? And it'll tell you exactly what buttons to push. And then now you'll have the picture that you took. You'll also have the 3-second video. You can use those. You can use those in your stories. You can use those as posts. You can put those together for reels. That's a time saver right there. Pre-plan or create your posts ahead of time. Every single cell phone has a notes section. Okay. And actually, Facebook has a drafts area. I don't like it because it's very hard to get your drafts back. But some of you might be smarter at that than me. But I just go into my notes section. And if something strikes me like, oh, I'm going to make a post about this, you can just type it up in your notes section and you have it ready. And what is the best way? This is how my brain works. The best way to remember to make that post later in the day, I set an alarm on my phone. Make post about a detox group, and it goes off at 5 p.m. to remind me. It's one thing to have it created and on your phone, but if you don't share it, it's not going to do any good. And if you get really busy during the day. So when I have that chunk of time, when I have that 10-minute timer running, and in that 10 minutes, I'm going to pre-plan a post and set a couple of alarms, then the rest of my day goes better. There's a thought process behind this where they call it multipliers. This is how you make more time in your day. So like how I was just sitting there making all those reels in the moment right now while I'm awake and alert and on it, versus trying to wake up tomorrow morning, sit up in bed, feed the dogs, get my shit together. Like I've given myself the gift of time tomorrow because I've already got this done. And then, like I said, you can reuse those over and over and over. Nobody has to know. And so you're giving yourself the gift of time. Let me put my glasses on. I can't read my own note. Oh, onestream.live. You're going to want to write that website down. OneStream, like stream, like a creek. So ONE, like not the number, but spell it out. ONESTREAM.live, LIVE. By using OneStream.live, I could right now take my phone. I could record a live video of me, maybe opening up a box of Thrive, or maybe going through a sample pack, or maybe just talking about what's on whatever I want to talk about. But maybe I just did a post earlier today and I don't want to share this today. And because I try to be careful to not make my social media nothing but Thrive. And maybe I've already done a Thrive post today. But now that I have that saved to my phone, I can go to onestream.live on, say, Thursday afternoon. And I can tell OneStream Live to take that video and share it as a live video on Facebook, what day and time I wanted to do it. And I could literally be sitting in the dentist office getting my teeth cleaned, and OneStream.live will tell the world that I'm live on Facebook talking about this unboxing video of what came in my Thrive Pack today. Again, a time saver. So if you know you're going to be going on vacations, or you know you're going to have some downtime, like maybe you're going to have some sort of surgery or something where you know you're going to be out for a couple of days, you can do stuff like this ahead of time and have it ready and already have it up. OneStream.live is nice because you can schedule when you want it to go. Sandra says, yes, some of my Make It Mondays were filmed on Sunday. Yes. I mean, you might have a great idea. Like her idea of Make It Monday is a great idea. Who here has a ton of free time on a Monday compared to the time on a Sunday to set up a tripod and chop up like all that stuff, right? Another one, I only have two more, and then I'm hoping this is like jogging stuff for you guys because I would love to hear some of your ideas. Facebook lists. So in Facebook, you can actually make lists. You can call them, you could literally put all the Thrivers that you know in a Thrive Facebook friends list. And so on a day you need some uplifting this, or you want to know what's going on and maybe your Thrive team's life, you could click that button and just see posts from the Thrive people. What about when you're working your business and you don't want to see posts from Thrive people? People that you're adding to your network, or the newbies that you're adding, or people that you're talking to that you're like, yep, she's ready to thrive, she just doesn't know it yet. You can put them in a list so that when you click that button, the only thing you see on your feed are those people. So you don't get distracted by the cute dog video from Courtney Summers. It's my life right there in a nutshell. So that to me is also a time saver. And yes, it takes time to create those lists, but in the long run, it saves you time. Another great thing I think to do is to print your friends list off of Facebook. Print that bad boy. It's going to be huge. It's going to take a long time to print it. But once you have it, you now have names on a sheet of paper that you can easily go through and make check marks by. Who have I talked to? Who haven't I talked to? And then who am I unfriending? Who am I unfollowing? Like you can really get more organized so that when you do spend time on social media, you're using it productively. Now, I'm a huge fan of getting into my bed early and scrolling. I watch a couple TikToks here and there. I like to catch up on Instagram. I love my farmer on YouTube, but I don't do that until the end of the day because during the day I'm trying to use it to be more productive. And the last thing that I'm a big fan of, and I'm not at all good at Excel or really smart at Excel, but I love to take the customer information, even my promoter's information. You can just click on it, highlight it, copy it, and put it into an Excel spreadsheet. Because if I'm trying to keep track of, I don't know, like who have I reached out to about, who do I want to make sure has seen this promo that we just went over? I can keep going back and forth to my list, but if you click out of it or you do the wrong one, it resets everybody and the names get mixed up and confused. Whereas if I just print them out and I'm looking at them, I can literally take a purple ink pen that I just happen to have sitting here, and I can put a tick next to their name. I talked to them. I sent them the promo. I explained to them the promo. I explained it to them. And then that same list is still great, right? And maybe I add another promoter, so I handwrite their name in. And then the next time there's a promo or there's maybe it's the end of the month and I want to make sure I've checked in with everybody, I can take a pink ink pen. Also, Lisa Cook is the reason I have all these colored pens. Thanks, Lisa. And I can tick off that list. And that's just for me a way to be faster. Also, in that, like having that printed list, I can take that with me somewhere. So if I'm going to have to go sit at a doctor's office, or I'm going to have some downtime in between clients, or maybe I just want to get out of the house or something for the day and I'm going to go work someplace else, all I need is my phone to do my messaging and I have my list versus having to go back and forth between my computer and my phone, right? It's just a way to streamline that process for me. What do you guys have for me? Share with me your tips and tricks. I want to know what you do to save time because I like it. I love time is a non-renewable resource.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to my little handy dandy binder book. So Sandra mentioned last week that I had done my thank you cards. I take this book, I take my thank you cards, I make a list from my cloud office of who placed orders, and then I can take this in the living room and watch TV, or sitting in the living room and do this while Glenn and Blake are watching TV. So I'm not hiding out in the office. But their addresses are there. Everything I need to do my thank you notes is right here. And this little sucker sits right here next to my computer. And I use it all the time. So
I love that. And as you know, I have a binder that I'm not good at using. So I'm glad for you. I'm glad that you're reminding me of another reason to actually use it's sitting here. It's been sitting here since the day I traveled all over Field Journal and back to get it. And they see there's oh, now Sandra, yours is cute. Yours is cute. I was all over for a cute one.
I drove to 3 stores
See?
and ended up using one. Oh, wait. It gets better. I ended up using one I already had. Okay, can I talk about Ed Milet just a minute?
Yes, please. He's our favorite.
Okay. So he talks about how he gets 3 days in one. Tammy, I'm sure you've heard him say this. Yes. So from 6 to 12 is his first day. And from 12 to 6 is his second day. And from 6 to midnight is his third day. And he has broken that down because, he said the same thing. He's like, he's like, you're not mailing a letter. He's like, with a click of an email, you can send a letter to someone halfway around the world. So, and so that's how he schedules his day. So he has 3 days within a 24-hour period. And he just talks about how he's like, how you go to work some days and you think, oh, I got so much done today. He's like, this is the same premise. Just keep yourself scheduled and busy. But I am nowhere near there yet. But I just thought that was such an interesting concept.
I do love that. I love that perspective because he's right. Like I remember back in the day where you needed something, so you had to go to the library to find it, or you had to go to your friend's house because you didn't have all the letters of the encyclopedia yet because we had to wait till Kroger had like you know what I mean? Like there were times where it took you a long time and you had to mail information. And if you mailed somebody, I just always think, so my first job out of college, we did design work and we did office furniture. And when we had faxes when I was out of college. But I used to think like, man, like what if I had to type up this quote and drive it to my client or mail it to my client and find out 2 or 3 days later, they wanted to change the color of the chair, which meant the fabric was different, which meant it was a different price. Whereas even the fax machine, even sometimes like you had to wait for the fax to go through, they had to fax you back. Like that seemed like a drag. And now it's literally, you click the button, you send it off, you click the button, and you're done. So the tasks that we can get done in a, like, you can literally take that one task that used to take, there was like the mail, then there was fax, and now there's email. And so you can get so much more done. But because of that, I think we get lazy. We get less detailed, because I would, like, if I whipped up a quote for somebody really quick and I forgot to put the right fabric in it. Oh, no big deal. I'll refax it. Whereas if I had to like make sure it was right because I was mailing it, you would really spend time with it. But that's why I think it's important to have your calendar and have those time chunks, because then you can focus. If you're trying to do too many things at once, and if I said, okay, you got your timer set for 10 minutes and you're like, okay, I'm going to do reach outs, I'm going to make a post, no, 10 minutes, focus, get something done, get all your reach outs done, get all your posts done, get all your stories done. Don't try to do all the different things. You can set a 5-minute timer later in the day and get something done. When you are all over the board trying to do too much, you won't accomplish anything. And I know we're women, and yes, we can multitask, even though there's all this stuff about that now. But if you want to be successful and intentional with your task, take away the multi and get intentional with it. Get focused on it. One intentional focused task at a time will create more momentum for you than running around like a chicken trying to do all the things. So I do love how he breaks that down. Sonia said, maybe I need a binder. Right now, my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is paper clipped together. I don't have a calendar right now. I seem to have trouble finding the right kind of calendar. Lisa did an entire, was it a StreamYard, or was it a StreamYard and boot camp that I might have to finagle find for her? Or was it on a dream team? Well, you did a whole thing on how you put your binder together. That would be a good one for us to send to Sonia.
Yeah.
I think it was a dream team Zoom.
Okay. I'll try to find it, Sonia, and tag you in it. Because she breaks down what's in it. And then Samantha did one too, where she breaks down what's in her binder. And it's just, and Lisa's binder is not exactly the same as Sam's binder. So you're going to find some stuff in each one that will work better for you. Ironically, I have a calendar that I do use, and I have a binder that sits next to me, and my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s are actually paper clipped together in my calendar. So everybody does it a little different. Oh, let me make a note, because I'm famous for saying, yeah, I'm going to do that and then forgetting. So Jen and Sonia tagging. Okay. Anybody else real quick? We've gone over time. I'm sorry.
If you found that you're floundering, like Tammy and I were one day, I just challenged her. I said, okay, 1 hour or 30 minutes, whatever it is. See how many reach outs you can do, or whatever messages you can do. And you're in competition with somebody that you've just challenged. And so that will get your butt in gear too, if you're floundering. And then the reason I disappeared, I dove underneath my desk, because I thought this was in my binder. I printed my friends list in 2017, in February 2017, and it's changed how it formats and prints out, unfortunately. But I have written all over this thing, and I've added new people. I've gotten rid of people. And so I've deleted names. I've crossed names out. I've added names to this. And so, because this thing is dog-eared, y'all. But if you print it out, you do have to go in and Google and ask the Google gods how to print out your friends list, because you don't want to just click on your friends and then try to print it out, because it's not going to format correctly. They'll actually send you an email with your friends list in it, and then you can print it from there. It takes a little while for them to generate it. And but you'll just have to, yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And just Google it, because directions for it change all the time of how to do it.
Well, and I think it changes too based on your computer, doesn't it? Like, yeah, so you have to, so again, go to Google, tell it what operating system you're on, what computer you're using, and it'll tell you how to do it. I forget who it was, because I'm horrible with names, but she did a guest speaker spot for us, and it was a Dream Team Zoom, so I know it's in the YouTube. But she has the maxed out 5,000 Facebook friends list, and she prints it the first of every month, and she makes sure by the end of the month, every name has a tick by it. So the tick could be that this person had friended her and they were no longer worth keeping, so she deletes them. The tick, but she has made some sort of contact or decision about every person on that list, which I just did the math really quick. That's 166 people on average a day for a 30-day month. But I forget her name, but she hit 200K in like a few months, and she's maintained it for years. So granted, this is her full-time job. She probably has an assistant to print it out for her. I don't know how she does it, but she started doing that in the beginning before she had 5,000 friends. So start now with your 600 or whatever you have, your friends list. If you have 25 friends, start with it now. Make sure that's one friend, that's less than one friend a day. But it's just when she went over it, I was like, oh dang. But then I was like, that's why her business is what it is. She does that on her Facebook. And then I forget how she did her Instagram, but she did something where she made sure to have some sort of contact in some way, shape, or form with every single friend. Because think about it. Why are you friends with them on Facebook if you're not doing something with them? Yeah, I mean, I'm friends with like relatives, but they still need to know what I do for a living, right? It's still an opportunity. So they may have a friend of a friend of a friend that they connect me to. If someone's not going to be a thriver with me, they're going to connect me to a thriver. So it's very important to keep those relationships open. So, okay, I have homework to do to find that Zoom for Miss Jen and Sonia. I went over time. I'm sorry, but we did do the promo plus the topic. If you guys come up with more time saving tips that we didn't talk about tonight, let me know because it's literally one of my favorite topics. So thank you. See you. This will be on YouTube. See you later. Bye.